This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the Roc City Cannabis Carnival, Winter Edition, hosted by #Hydro Inc. On Saturday, December 18th, join us at the Main Street Armory in Rochester, New York, for what is surely to be the cannabis event of the year. With over 90 vendors showcasing the best flower, edibles, concentrates, infused foods and drinks, clothing designs, jewelry, CBD, and more, this event should definitely land high on your priority list. And it wouldn't be a carnival without live DJs, a THC-infused drink bar, stilt walkers, aerialists, carnival games, and so much more. This is a 21-plus event, and tickets are on sale now at etix.com and through mainstreetarmory.com, which you can access in the show notes. So whether you're a joker, a smoker, or a midnight toker, come check out the Roc City Cannabis Carnival Winter Edition on December 18th for what is sure to be the most epic cannabis event that New York State has ever seen.
The views and opinions expressed on this show belong solely to the hosts and their guests and do not reflect the views of any outside institutions unless explicitly stated.
What's up, everyone? My name is Steve Vanderwall, and I'm the host of Cannabis Cum Laude, a podcast devoted entirely to cannabis. This podcast will cover a full spectrum of topics, including cultivation, business, medicine, politics, culture, advocacy, and everything in between. Because let's face it, the cannabis industry is very complicated. It's robust, and it has a ton of moving parts. So it's going to be my job to help you understand it a little bit better. So tune in every week for a brand new episode. And if you enjoy this podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review the show. And if you really, really, really like the show and are interested in sponsoring, please shoot me an email at logistics@cannabiscumlaude.com. Now enjoy the show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Cannabis Cum Laude. I always laugh when I hear that intro, and Fitz and I, we were recording it the other week, and we didn't have the teleprompter, so we had the computer stacked on top of a recycling bin, and we're trying to balance it. It was awesome.
All taped together with a broom holding it, balancing on one leg.
It was great. It was great. Welcome back to another episode, everybody. Thrilled to be here. Very excited about this episode and really excited for what's to come on this podcast in the next couple months. A few housekeeping things. If you don't know already, my friend and my co-host and the co-founder of this podcast, Justin Klosser, is making moves in a different direction and has decided to step away from the podcast to pursue a really awesome new venture called UrbaQuest, which you should all check out. I know they're going to be hosting a really awesome event coming up. He's a father. He's he's going to be getting married in the next year or two. He's going to school full time. He's doing a lot in the cannabis space. He's a grower. I don't know how he does it, but Justin, we wish you the best of luck. I know wherever you're going to be, you're going to be successful. And good luck to you.
And just one of the sweetest people. And he's making like an app or something too. It's like, how many things can he do? He's just like pile it on top of each other.
Dude, he can do it. I don't know how he does it.
I feel that too. It's like, how much can I do? Just push it to the limit.
Let's max ourselves out.
Yes, let's max ourselves out. I can sleep on 2 hours.
Screw it, right?
Enough.
Sleep when you're dead. So my guest today and today's co-host really needs no introduction. She is really the queen of the local cannabis industry. Her name is Jackie Bonfiglio, a.k.a. That Hydro Girl, a.k.a. the mastermind behind the original and the first annual Rochester Cannabis Carnival, the mastermind behind the upcoming Winter Cannabis Carnival Winter Edition. Really excited to have you here today. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, of course. I'm so happy. I don't know about queen, but I'm working my way up the ladder.
I think so. You guys have quite a voice right now.
Me and Rob are not the type of people to boast about ourselves. So you always got to stay humble.
You're doing a great job. And honestly, the carnival really launched this local industry into orbit. I think it made a lot of people comfortable to come out. There's a huge industry that's already here that's been thriving for 80 years and it's not going anywhere. And I think that you guys have created a safe space for people to come out of the darkness and really start to do business and show themselves, because you and I both know there is a robust industry. There are branded companies with products and staff and legitimate businesses.
The news article that Gino did on the first carnival said it perfectly. He said, we're all weed nerds. It's not just about smoking weed and getting high anymore, which, I mean...
It's a great
it kind of is. Yeah. I mean, it's nice. But I mean, it's like he goes, he knows what we know what sativas do. We know what indicas do. Yep. If you have depression, this strain will help, or anxiety, this strain will help. And no, it's not, regulated like that. But we've been around it for so long, and we've seen so much success with it. People study it, and they know what to do with it. And it's just... It's breaking the stigma of it. And my parents, God, I love them, but they don't smoke weed. I've tried. They won't smoke weed. But they came to the first carnival and they were like, this is way different than I thought it was going to be. This is real. Yeah, this is real. These are like our mechanic was somebody my mom works with showed up and my mom has a big important job. So the fact that someone was there and she goes, I'm just helping my daughter run this. Like, I'm not participating. I
have not inhaled at all today.
But I was like, Mom, he was there to participate, right? Yeah. Like, it's for everybody. We had people of 21 to 78. It was fantastic.
I saw a whole bunch of people go through there, all different shapes, sizes, and backgrounds, and everybody that you can imagine was there. An entire cast of characters from, our lawyer crew went through there and participated, and we had friends and family. It was so awesome. I still think, that would really set the precedent for what's to come. And, that's something that I really want to talk about today with the Winter Cannabis Carnival coming up. But what I want to know first, I want to get an idea of really who you are and how you found yourself in cannabis. Because you used to be on the radio. You probably got more radio experience than me.
I do. I was on the radio for like 5 years. I was a producer for Weeze and Kimberly and Beck. And I was on Opie and Anthony in New York City. And I had my own show. And it was a blast. It was a lot of fun. I get bored quickly. Yeah. I get bored very quickly. So the radio station I was on closed. I jumped around from jobs and everything. I've always loved. It's funny. The whole reason Rob and I met was from smoking weed. We used to when we were seniors in high school. We used to get to leave lunch and go out on off campus and come back. A bunch of us, like 12 of us, would leave campus and go smoke pot during our lunch break. And that's how I met Rob. And it was all history from there. So pot, we had weed at our wedding. Like, pot's just like a big part of our life. And for me, it can be something, fun and enjoyable. You want to take a fat dab and get super high. Yeah. Or it can be something like I just got to chill out. And we've been in this, the underground side of things for well over 10 years. And had I known it would become this, I would have paid attention to Rob a very long time ago. Yeah. But I didn't think.
You hear that, Rob? You hear that?
Yeah, I give him credit for that a lot. I never thought this would be, you never thought you would see this. No. But it's amazing to just be able to raise my kids at a time where weed can be the same exact way as alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what I always try to convey to people is like we have to look at cannabis at much more than just something that when you light on fire, it makes you feel good. Right. That is a really great, arguably the best part.
It really does.
It does. But when you start looking at like the cultivation side, like the craft cultivation, what goes into a grow? There's like a whole ecosystem of stuff that goes into growing cannabis, whether you're hydroponics or it's a whole world of information. Then you get into the, endocannabinoid system, the medicinal benefits, and there's a whole world of information there. In the industry side, how to start a retail business. It's literally an entire universe of stuff, from seed to sale and all the stuff that if you take the time to understand cannabis beyond just a drug or something that gets you high, it becomes very easy to have, to be kind of obsessed with it like we all are. It's not like we're a bunch of stoners and we're sitting out getting high. Right. We're freaking weed nerds, and it's cool.
Right, but I think it's so hard for some people because it was just this party drug for so long. You know what I mean? No one took it really seriously until, probably someone got super stoned one day and was like, I wonder if I do this and I do that, if I can put it in this brownie and what happens. Yeah. And like I said, we've been, growing for a while. I cannot make edibles for shit.
Really?
It is a very hard thing to do. And like you said, each little niche area of cannabis takes a lot of skill and a lot of failure. And people think it's going to be so easy. Like, it's not.
It's not.
It's not, especially to watch, 12 weeks of something just fall down the tubes in a second because of a disease or a mold or just something. And then you got to chop it all down.
I literally just deployed, and I called Rob this morning because I had just ordered. I did my big pluck last week, my day 21 pluck, and then I buy predator mites. Right, my IPM. I don't have any bugs or mold or any issues, but I deployed an entire 50,000 predator mite army in my fucking grow room this morning
just to be super safe. Yeah.
I bought 50,000, and it says like here's my little grow.
50,000.
Yeah, 50,000. Literally, I didn't even read the bottle. I was like, fucking 50,000.
Fuck.
And it was like this huge tube.
You didn't buy it from Rob, didn't you?
No. I got it from Arvico.
Because he would have been like 50,000. What the fuck are you doing with this, Steve?
Well, yeah, I call and I'm like, I've laid it out the way that I was instructed. I still have 9/10 of this tube left. What should I do? And I called him. I called Johnny Williams. I called my boy Main Mike, and I said, what do I do? And they're like, use it all. You can't overdo it. So I literally have 50,000 spider mites or predator mites that are ready to go ape shit on anything that shows their face in that grow room.
They're just waiting. So now the question, which I don't know if you're going to know this because I don't know this.
Okay.
What if they start getting hungry? Are they going to be looking for stuff to eat, such as your leaves?
No. No, they won't. What they'll do is they'll just die.
Okay.
So that's what Rob said. He said,
and then you'll have 50,000.
I come in tomorrow, my crop just picked. I'm like, oh, well, that sucks.
They're going to be all over the ground. You're going to be like, what is this weird fuzz on the ground? You're going to see, oh, that's the pest.
It's so overdone. I have like a little pile of it comes in like a big tube, and it's like this cardboardy material, and it's like inside it is the eggs and the hatch. You have to like use it within 18 hours. And there's like just a little pile between
That's
each
what I was
going to
say. Can you save them? And obviously not.
No. But spider mites or aphids beware. I got 50,000 strong, will fuck you up. Better believe it. I want to talk a little bit about, before we get into the carnival, what's coming up. What was it like? You were really the brains and the main organizer, the original carnival. What were some things that you did that time that you would do differently, or things that you didn't do the first time that you're now employing into this round of planning?
Making scannable pre-bought tickets to make it so fucking easy for people to get.
Yeah.
That was a big issue. I mean, we saw Buffalo doing these we saw Buffalo doing a couple of these events. Shout out to Mayor Buffalo, because his was the one we went to. He does Queen City Sesh, and he's been doing them, and he does them good. He does them right, and we went to that one, and we're like, this is awesome. We're like, we own a hydro store. We know tons of growers in the community. Like, we can put this together. So we put it out there, and it just escalated from there. But we really expected like 2,000 people, and we had almost 5,000 show up.
Wow.
So the line got psychotic. The money got psychotic. We had over 1,000 people sneak in. I mean, at that point, I didn't even give a shit. I was like, you want to know what? You claim you're with whoever, just go. Like, I don't even know. Like, I'm just so overwhelmed that this many people fucking showed up in the first place. Like, oh my God.
Well, I remember, vendors all got set up, and that was the first time I had ever vended. And we're like looking, I'm like, noon or 12:30. I'm like, are you seeing this line? I was over there by the urinals.
We should have opened the doors early.
It was insanity. And then by 2:00, it was like 10 people wide, serpentining throughout the freaking parking lot. It was insane.
We definitely should open the doors early. The issue was there were a handful of vendors that came between 1 and 2 p.m., even though we had tried to get vendors there by 12:45. And that was going to be an issue, having them drive up their stuff. And if we were to open the gates early, we were basically going to screw those vendors over, and they had a right to be there. You know what I mean? So I think we haven't made an official decision yet, but I think one thing is we may find a different way to do swag bags instead of the first 50 people through the door.
Yeah.
Because that's what creates such a draw right up front. Yeah. There's tons of parking this time. So that's a nice part. But I mean, it really just, it was crazy. I think back, I had a dream the other night that we were actually at the Winter Carnival.
Wow.
It was pretty
What a
fucking
great
good.
dream.
Yeah, right? It was so nice. But it's just, it really is. It was almost easy to plan because I'm so OCD. So I did that layout so many times and tried to get everything. And there was a lot more we wanted to have, like, actual carnival games and rides, but there was a lot of liability stuff that we had to steer clear of, especially for the first one. Thank God we did. You know what I mean? Like, geez, there was ground bees at one fucking point.
Oh yeah, at the Outdoor Carnival, right?
Yeah, a girl got stung once, and then I ran over and I just stood over it. And the lady looked at me and she goes, "You can't do that." I'm like, "I'm running this thing." I'm like, if anyone's gonna sue me, it's me. I'm like, I'm good. Just enjoy yourself.
Wow.
And I had one of the vendors like throw me a box, and we put a box down, and I put flags through it so it didn't move, and then cones around it, and it ended up being fine. But I was like, I'm like, first of all, because you're kind of high too. So like, what the fuck? What am I gonna do? There's bees. I don't know what to do with ground bees, and
they'll sting, and they'll like sting you like 10 at a time too.
well, and everyone was dealing with bullshit. You know what I mean? Rob was directing traffic the whole day with my father. Everybody we asked to help us out that day were like, yeah, you'll be there for like a couple hours, and then, you know, the shifts will change and everything. And it just became a shit show. We had to get the people working the VIP to help with the tickets, and then VIP bags got stolen, and then that became an issue. So we refunded the people who said something because like that, I felt terrible. I was like, listen, like the whole thing went awry. So
really?
This time VIP has a separate line. When they walk in, the bags will be right there. They're in little Christmas stockings.
Oh, cool, cool.
So the bags will be right there with some of the nice models that we fired.
Yes. Yep.
I had a lot of fun doing that. I got to interview some very beautiful females. So, yeah.
And for that, we thank you. So what are some things, what are we talking, number of vendors, break down the sponsorships for me? Give me a little bit of a deep dive on like what we can expect on that day.
For the winter one?
Yeah.
So we have 104 vendors.
Wow.
I wanted to underpromise though in the beginning. So we said like 60 to 70 vendors. Then I went there like 3 different times and measured to make sure I could fit everybody I could fit. We rented the upstairs. So there will be about 10 vendors upstairs. There'll be carnival games upstairs, the glass blowing competition upstairs. There's going to be a special like gaming section upstairs sponsored by somebody, and then by Rock Gaming Network.
Cool.
I just got I've been trying to get a hold of them too, and then my kid's sick, and it's just like crazy. So, but they're going to be sponsoring that. And then Fire Glass Company is sponsoring an exclusive VIP lounge.
Damn.
And then the VIP lounge will actually be the balcony overlooking the entire event. So there's kind of like 2 special lounges.
Wow, that's cool.
And then we have like a photo booth, aerialist performances, stilt walkers, Santa, what do you call it? Santa Claus. Rob is calling him Santa Claus.
Stump.
Yeah, Stumpy's gonna be Santa Claus, and he's walking around with 2 models, naughty and nice. So depending on how you bend this year, you'll get either a little treat or a little spanking from him. So I don't know if you want to be naughty or nice this year.
He's gonna be in his glory. He is gonna be in his glory.
Oh yeah, he is. Oh, and they're beautiful too. They're just the sweetest people. So, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be crazy. We have about 18 premier vendors. I think like 29 gold, 28 silver. You're like 29 vendors.
Cool.
If that math adds up, there might be a number off somewhere.
Close enough.
You know what I mean? Like it's somewhere around there. We got a giant Christmas tree.
Cool.
We have ugly sweaters we're making.
That's gonna be awesome.
Christmas stockings. It's going to be amazing.
It's gonna be amazing.
We just have so much stuff. So
yeah.
And just so you know, you all heard it here first on Thursday, October 14th. So if you see any of that shit at anybody else's events, you know they fucking took it from the carnival.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just saying. You heard breaking news. Well,
it's you know what I mean? And I appreciate the, sentiment for what people are trying to do, but it's like we have 2 kids under the age of 3. You know, we have our own business, 2 of them. We have these events. Like, we're working our ass off to make these events amazing. And, you know, if other people can't do it and just want to bite off what we're doing, like...
I think we're seeing that
sad.
a lot recently, you know, and as you said today, there's some stuff circling around Instagram about, you know, these events, you know, when you start looking at 20, 30 vendors at $200 a piece to $300 each, they're cash cows plus tickets, you know, it seems, and a lot of people have been, you know, inviting as many vendors as possible, you know, sometimes charging a lot, you know, sometimes the turnout's great and worth it, and sometimes it's not.
There really have been some amazing events with really great turnouts. I mean, but you know, it's just some of them. You got to make sure you're providing enough of a crowd, so vendors at least make their money back and a little more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what needs to happen. Is that you can't overflow with it and that's kind of why with the first carnival we had like 30 vendors. And then we were like, all right, we can go to 40. And then we were like, all right, we'll go to like, you know, we kept increasing it because we gained more traction. And we're like, all right, we're confident that we can have this many vendors and at least feed them a crowd. And shit, we could add 200 vendors there and fed them a crowd. But still, I mean, that's not what it was about. The fact that people walked out of there, our vendors walked out of there with like no product, that's huge. You know what I mean? That's huge.
People got cleaned out. I mean, I heard some numbers of some of the, you know, the donations that people were getting. It's awesome. And it's awesome. And the problem is that I think that sets such an expectation. And I know for me, is like after that, it was like, oh, wow, this is good. Well, I've been in the wrong, you know, this is great.
Right.
And then you go to another event and you do half that or a quarter of that. And you're like, oh, this sucks. No, the carnival is kind of its own thing. These, you know, it's probably going to get the most traction, the most hype. But all these events, you know, I've been to some events that have been great where we've really killed it, and I've been to some events that haven't been so great. I think the problem is now is that there's so many events. There's, you know, it used to just be one event or 2 events, you know, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. Now there's like 8 a weekend, and a lot of the same people. You just cut your group in 8s now, you know. So
and the issue is you need enough time to publicize events to draw that crowd. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it was nice when everyone was kind of doing pop-ups, because you'd go to an event and you would see 20 vendors there that you probably knew maybe 3 of them, and the rest were all new. You know what I mean? And every time you went to a pop-up, there was some other new vendors, and you really got to see a variety, and that's where I feel like it's lacking. So I want there to be other big events besides from the carnival, because there should be. You know what I mean? There should be other big events, but it's making sure that you have the vendors in mind first. You need to make sure that they're put first in your guests. Otherwise, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I also think that a lot of these businesses are relying on pop-ups as their primary and sometimes even sole ways to make money. And when you put all your eggs in one basket, you know, if you could do a carnival every week, you'd be fine, right? You'd make cash, but you can't do that. So I think, you know, my advice would be to some of these vendors, start figuring out ways that you can make money every single day instead of just on Sundays, right? Because some pop-ups are great. They could be cash cows. Some could be dead and you could lose your vendor fee, but figure out a way, whether, you know, there's new retail channels popping up, or do you have a local client base, or whatever you're doing.
Do you have a menu put together? Definitely get something where people, you know, when you're at these pop-ups, you're at these events, they have something they can look back on, whether it's physical or online, where they can be like, oh, I loved this, and then I'll go through this, and just that way it'll help vendors, so that this way they can build up that attraction.
It's tough though. Not everybody has starting a business is really challenging, and starting a cannabis business is really challenging, you know, especially when we start looking at like legal market stuff and licenses and all that stuff. And that kind of leads me into another question. Something I want to talk about is Roc City Genetics.
Okay, you got me nervous.
What do you think I was going to say?
I don't know.
Surprise. Talk to me a little bit about what is Roc City Genetics and what's your hope? Where do you see that going?
So Roc City Genetics is obviously a genetics company in Rochester. So we do seed sales and donations, as well as clones and exclusive genetics. One thing we want to strive to do is doing clean, healthy
Yep.
clones. No pests. You know they're going to be good, large yielders. They're going to be female.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not going to have any issues like that. Like that is the key. So finding those really hardy and sturdy strains and genetics takes a while. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You got a process of elimination. So as we start to grow that, we have, pun intended. As we start to grow that, we have a couple that we are tried and true right now. So strawberry guava number 4 and pot of gold.
Homeboy just pulled like 21% out of that.
I know. That was crazy. We have that purple tester, which will test THC, CBD, moisture, and water level. Yeah, 21% THC. And I think it was a year old.
That bud was a year old.
That bud was a year old.
What?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he preserves it in some sort of way. He's a old school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pretty good grower.
Knows what he's doing. He's old school, so he preserves it in some sort of way. It's a year old and was 21%. I was like, what the fuck?
That's insane.
Yeah.
Didn't Johnny Zippy Hippie come in and test like 24% on that frosted fruitcake?
Yep.
You got to give me some of that.
Taylor Rock Exotics, his wafers tested 25.
Oh, I saw that. I think Nikki
25.
posted that.
And then somebody did 26. And that's been our highest THC count so far is 26%, but I can't remember.
I know who it was. That was my mentor.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
Mad Mike.
Yep.
Fucking guy is a gifted grower.
So, yeah, I love that fucking purple tester. I was there. Oh, it's so much fun to play with. Everyone just brings some weed and you break it up and you test everyone's THC.
Yep.
But it's been very handy to find the CBD or the Delta 8 within the
I'm sure.
THC selling.
Have you had some?
People brought it to us like way back. It was actually, I think, even before the carnival happened, and people brought in a couple from like different pop-ups they had been to between Buffalo and Rochester, and one was pure CBD.
I'm not surprised.
I was like, I mean, it's just, and the thing is too, it's like I know you're not going to get as much from CBD profit-wise, but there's still a market for it. You could still just be honest and just be like, I don't know. I just hate swindling people. I'm a bad liar too. So I would try and sell to some like it's CBD. Don't buy it.
Well, and not to mention, first of all, you're gonna know when you've been smoking it, and I don't feel any different. And second of all, I do feel bad for a lot of these hemp farmers. You know, I was in the CBD industry a long time before I got into the THC space. I grew CBD with a farmer buddy of mine. I made products. It is night and day compared to this industry. CBD is very tough. And if you're a farmer, you know, a lot of these farmers are getting ready and practicing their outdoor growing and greenhouse growing in preparation to grow the real stuff. But I think a lot of them thought that they were going to grow at this $1,000 or $2,000 a pound CBD. And I can tell you it's probably like $2 a pound. It's the CBD market is just flatlined.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah, flatlined. Dude, literally, it's
okay. Oh, okay. I get why people are being scummy. I mean, like, I can see why people are being scummy about it. I want to be, but holy shit, that's low. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've grown, or, you know, I worked with a farmer buddy of mine out in Mount Morris who did a little 1 acre USDA organic grow, 750 plants on an acre. It was like a beautiful crop. And that we dried it, we treated it just like craft cannabis, dried it at 60/60, hand trimmed everything, hand trimming 750 outdoor plants. We left half of the plants in the field. There was literally so much crop, probably 2,000 pounds worth of crop.
Like scissors. Hand trimming.
So the farmer that I work with has 5 or 6 kids, ages from like 7 to 18. It'd be like the husband, the wife, the kids, me, just trimming bud. These kids were machines. I was like, you need to get a license because you got, you know,
that's
6 soldiers there for you. That's some free labor right there.
Timby, you can't eat till you finish that plant.
Yeah, 2 more pounds, boy. It's crazy.
That's so funny. Yo, that shit's hard though. I could not imagine.
Trimming?
Like that many plants.
Oh, yeah.
I like trimming, like, you know, 4 plants, you know. After that, you're like, all right, I'm done.
I get so lazy, too. I just pulled my 2 outdoors, and they did pretty well, actually. Just did them in soil out in my back patio. And I have so much access to, like, really, really good indoor grown hydro, like, just premium shit that I'm like, don't even want to smoke my outdoor.
Dude,
I just like get so lazy when I trim. I take my top buds. I scrap the rest.
you sound like Rob. You're such a weed snob.
Man.
As the more you smoke, the more snobbier. You guys are like wine connoisseurs. You're like, what? This piss was grown in soil outdoors?
Piss.
I'm not smoking it.
That stuff goes in the blunt.
I was gonna say that shit will sit in like a drawer of our house for like 4 years, and then I'll look at Rob and I'll be like, "Can we fucking throw this out now? This weed that you didn't want, but you like didn't have the heart to throw out or something."
Good old 4-year cure.
Oh my
That's how
god!
you know it's good.
Right at that point, so after so many years of that, I was just like, I'm just throwing the stuff out if he doesn't want it. I don't care if it gets me high and it's doesn't have chemicals on it. I know who grew it. I'm gonna smoke it.
Yeah.
It freaks me out smoking some of this stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's because I feel old saying that, but
Some of this PGR shit, you can tell, like these really dense, super gnarly looking buds. Like that's not how cannabis grows.
No, Rob said that meme was a trap.
Which
Are
one?
you talking about that meme that was posted too?
Which one?
That PGR meme where it was I asked him about that. And I was like, because, I mean, there's so much, like you said, there's so much to fucking know about cannabis. So I asked him a lot too. And I'm like, is this true? And he goes, kind of, but not really. There's a lot of this and that. And I'm like, all right. Thanks for the fucking expansion on it, Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Professor.
He basically probably thinks I can't, understand.
You'll never.
I don't know.
You won't understand.
You wouldn't understand. It's not your realm.
Well, I saw it at an event a couple weeks ago, and it was like these 3 dudes. They showed up, and they were under one of the tents. They just brought a fold-out table and 3 bags, huge bags, and they're like, open it, and literally before they were under the tent, they were outside, and it's raining in their weed. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I picked it up, and these like gnarly, shiny. They look like decor nugs. It was the weirdest thing. Like, this is the best weed you'll ever smoke. Blah blah blah. $30 an eighth. And this was like, I don't know where these people are getting this weed. It was the most PGR'd, nasty. Like, it looked fake to me. And I'm like, how much of this shit is actually going around?
Oh my, a lot.
A lot.
Like a lot. We know this is super fucked up too. We know somebody who was at an event and he was in the front. His booth was set up in the front. And he's a home grower, and he grows a lot. So he sells his stuff gives his stuff to other people. So he was at an event and somebody was set up in the back who had, was using his stuff, and somebody came up to the front and it was like a $30 donation difference between his and the dude that was in the back. And somebody got it from the guy in the back instead of getting it from him. And he goes, you just bought my stuff off of him. And it's like right here. And that's homegrown, local. So if that's happening homegrown, local, I mean, it's all over. I mean, I feel like it's a lot of the same stuff. It's hard to wean out. Yeah. I'm not saying like all stuff from not New York is bad, because there's a lot of stuff from Michigan and California, Maine, that is still very good. Massachusetts still really good. You know what I mean? It's just some of it, it's all, it's not anything special to me. Yeah,
you start to become more and more of a weed snob, when you get in bed and build friendships with these growers and these people who really know their shit. And it's like, you do become kind of a snob, because once you get that taste of like good craft cannabis, it's like, how do you do that? I have this sugar cane in right now. It looks like it's out of a fucking magazine. It's like, how do you make it? It's so beautiful. It's orange and crystally and all this. I'm like, dude, what do you do?
And you just want to stare at it, right?
Yeah.
You're like, this is just like perfect. Yeah. And it's just like, and that's the thing. It's like, you both could have the same plant and grow it 2 completely different ways, and it'll look 2 completely different ways and taste 2 completely different. It's like, it's crazy.
I've had so many people say like, oh, I've had this. I've had it before. I was like, you've probably had a strain, just like you've had a tomato before, but it wasn't. What kind of tomato was it? How was it grown? People said, oh, I've had Mach 1. I don't like it. No, you didn't like how your guy who grew it behind his barn in the dirt grew it. Try this.
I fucking love that. Have you had a tomato?
Yeah.
Well, our tomatoes aren't disgusting. So that's great. That's what I'm saying. Everyone thinks it's just, we had somebody else say today that nobody local growers have a long way to go. I was like, I strongly disagree with that statement. Like, I mean, I feel like the local home growers are the ones who care about their grows more. And a lot of local home growers I know are organic, and they try and keep it fully organic. Yep. Shout out High Minded Collective.
High Minded Collective.
Fully organic. Yeah, organic snob.
Yeah, he brings in good quality product, and I heard he's quite the grower.
Oh, like fantastic, but that's what I'm saying. Like clearly he's like as organic as he can get, and and there's clearly a reason why he does it. It's good for you, and it turns out fracking incredible. Yeah, put you on your ass.
Yeah, interesting.
Incredible.
He's we're due to do a show on Monday at 11. I've been trying to get him on the calendar for a while, and he says he's going to come in and talk to me.
See, there you go.
Yeah, I'm excited.
He's good. He's going to be sad he can't smoke in here.
I know.
My gosh. Well, you shouldn't tell him until he gets here that he can't smoke in here.
He'll bail. Yeah. Maybe one day we'll convince Fitz. Probably not.
I was going to say I have a doobie.
Yeah, Fitz, can we have a doobie in here? He's like, nah.
No, really not. That's all right. I'll save it. But yeah, he always goes anywhere with his rig.
Yeah.
And torch, yeah.
That's what Justin used to do out in the. We'd be like, I'd take my couple bowl hits because I'm not as big of a stoner as everybody. If I do dabs, I'm out. I don't need a lot of edibles. I smoke my bowl and maybe a doobie a day, right? And he's out there, blow torch, dab, come in here, fully functional, run a podcast. I'm like, dude, I would be literally in the parking lot. Yeah. I'd be face down in the parking lot.
I know. Me and Rob used to do. We used to do contests, obviously before we had children, but at how much of a weight dab we could do, and I think I got up to like 1.3 one time, 1.3 gram dab. Yeah.
What did that feel like?
I think it was. I don't know. Obviously, we came home we went to Sicily for 2 weeks, and we couldn't smoke in Sicily, so Rob got very Rob.
Yeah.
And we got,
man.
Yeah.
2 weeks with Rob with
and I was
weed.
Pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah, God bless him. And it was August in Sicily with no AC, so it was terrible. And we got home, and he did like 2 fat dabs back to back, and he goes, he'll even tell me to this day, he goes, I was seeing shit. He goes, that second dab was a bad choice. Yeah. Especially when you haven't done them after a couple weeks, yeah. But yeah. I mean, they could definitely knock you on your ass. One of my girlfriends hates doing them, but I love dabs. I love dabs.
I like to put hash rosin on my bowls or in my J's because I just don't think there's any better product. But every time, I just can't. I get the rapid heartbeat. It just isn't enjoyable for me. Maybe I just have.
You don't like that feel that that 2 seconds where you're like, am I gonna die? I can't get that gasp of breath and it's gonna kill me. I love it.
Okay, here's the thing about me. Okay, I cough all of the time. I could take a puff of the cleanest weed off an organic pre-roll wrapper. I'm hacking, right? You get me doing a dab, I'm going in a car dab. I'm hacking for literally probably an hour straight. My lips are turning purple. I'm sweating.
Geez.
Yeah, I have these weak lungs. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I'm on the ground asking for help and a ball just shaking.
Well, what's funny is at your grand opening, I think it was your grand opening at the new store, I was outside with Waddy and a couple people smoking a blunt. And when it came to me, a friend of mine who I hadn't seen in a long time, she's a very popular woman in the space, good businesswoman, doesn't really smoke. As I was hitting the blunt, she came over and said, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was like, coughed, like smoke. I am so sorry, and proceeded to go into a coughing fit. I was so fucking embarrassed.
I do that all the time.
Dude, it's
people.
totally cool. I get it. I'm like, I'm really embarrassed.
See, that happened to me. I took a dab the other night, and I was doing it, and Rob was standing right there, and it was too big, and I literally looked up and just spit.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I couldn't breathe because I was coughing so hard and laughing. He didn't find this funny,
no,
but I thought it was hilarious. I mean, he did find it funny. What are you really gonna do? He's the one who did out the dab. It was kind of on him. It was on him. Yeah. I mean, it was his fault. So.
Well, we we're coming up on time.
So say we run out of our time.
Go forever. It's like 8:30. It's like
No, it's not.
no, just kidding.
I was gonna say, wait, what time do we start? No, it can't be 8:30.
4:30.
Okay.
Is there any closing remarks? Anything you want to say? Anything that's any itch you need scratched? Any gears that are grinded?
I said a lot today on Instagram. I'll hold back until next time we're together. I think there's basically if you're gonna host an event, just please make sure you do enough publicity to get people there so vendors make their money back and it's not just a get-rich scheme.
Yep.
You know, this is not about to make money. This is a long-haul venture. So just stick by the vendors and support them.
Yep.
Like it's a lot of hard work and money that they're putting into all this,
Yep.
and that's all you should be focusing on. So.
Yeah. It goes both ways. You know, don't inflate the prices per hour. Okay, that's outrageous. I saw that this morning. Like, are you kidding me? You're gonna make your money anyway. You're gonna inflate it per hour for people waiting in line. Okay, if you know who you are. If that happens again,
Apparently he changed the flyer because we made the post. He changed the flyer, but. We don't want to say anything about anybody else's events because, you know, everyone handles them differently, like, and it'll just look like we're hate bashing. But when a number of vendors and patrons who attended the event come to you and a bunch of people say that they actually turned around and left when they heard $45 at the door, that's literally taking money out of vendors' pockets.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's what you're doing. So it's just, that's where it gets tough. And it's just, you know, making sure. And if you see that there is an event planned for that day, possibly just pick another day.
yeah,
Let's you know, try and have like one event a day.
yeah, or maybe like
Maybe
a week,
two,
maybe
you
a
know?
weeknight. Maybe like
Weeknights
I
are
like to
good.
smoke weed on the weeknights.
Weed Wednesdays. Who's gonna do Weed Wednesday? You know, pop-ups.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Like
Yeah.
needs to happen, but. I don't know. Because I've talked to so many vendors who are just like, I'm not doing events anymore and I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that. That makes me sad. You know what I mean? Because then, like, everything we've been working hard, you know, one person, one bad apple spoils a whole bunch.
And also, vendors, you know, it's your part to help market too. You know, if nobody.
Yes, it is. It is vendors. Yes, that's very true.
Push the. I don't remember who said it the other day, or somebody posted it on Instagram, but they said, you know, pay attention to the vendors who are pushing this like it's their own event, right? Because only event organizers can only do so much. You know, they should be really pushing for people, but do your part as a vendor. All you vendors use Instagram. That's where we're all at. Post. It's not hard. Use the same graphic over and over and over. Post it twice a day. It's not hard.
No.
And it will benefit you.
It costs nothing to post it, especially if you spent money getting into the event, getting people there, you know what I mean? And if you're a part of the event, you obviously believe in enough of it to be a part of it. So just post it, get it out there, make sure people attend. Head to etix.com for Carnival tickets for the winter, etix.com, and just search Cannabis Carnival. Obviously, will be the only thing that pops up.
I heard that the poster made it to the front digital sign in front of the Army.
We made the LED sign in
Wow.
front of the Armory. Frito was at a concert the other day, and he snapped a picture and saw it. He goes, "I forgot to tag you guys. I was drunk." I was like, "You're good, man." And then he did it. He uploaded it again. And tagged
that's
us.
huge.
So, but dude, it was crazy. It's just so crazy to see because we want to break the stigma of everything, and you know what I mean. It's the stigma of outside people's perspectives on cannabis and the stigma of how vendors are seeing the events come to light. I mean, I think there's a lot of ways that vendors can do this legitimately and not be scared to do it. And I think that's what they should be looking into. You know what I mean? Because it can definitely happen. So
yeah, I think, you know, I had a similar worry too. You know, like this is the donations and the gifting and all that stuff. Like technically, I think you can make an argument for it. Does it violate the spirit of the law? Maybe. I don't know what that means. Really,
does hosting the carnival violate the spirit of the
don't
law?
know.
I mean, we're gathering 100 cannabis vendors together to do the same thing.
And I would hope, you know, luckily, I'm really excited about where New York's industry is going because the regulatory boards, they're very diverse, they're very experienced, and they want this industry. I think the last thing that anybody wants to do is start criminalizing and singling out some of these small vendors. Okay, do we all really know what's happening, right? They're whatever, call it what it is, right? Donations, gifting, whatever. But these are the people who are going to build the industry and get the licenses and make that money and put it, in the tax, these are the people that you want to be doing what they're doing. So I cannot imagine that A, law enforcement knows what's going on. I don't really think they care, quite frankly. I think they probably support it. And B, I believe that, this is like where we need the free market to go. I think these Wild West kind of outlaw eras, because it's not going to be like this forever. Once you get the licenses, they're going to crack down on you.
This is going to end very soon. These are going to end very soon, which I think is why everyone is trying to capitalize on them so quick, because they know they won't all keep continuing doing it. But, it's just at the same time, they just got to be smart about them.
Be smart. You be careful of the language that you use, donations, gifts, just be careful. And
we're not the first state to do this.
No.
We're like one of the last, because New York, New York. But we're not the first state to do this. Everyone thinks that they're the big fish and that, feds are looking at them. You want to know what? Unless you're bringing in a couple mil a year, they don't give a shit.
No one cares. And you're right. They probably all know what's going on. But there's like,
unless you're going across state lines with it, and that's where your issue is, and that's probably why a lot of people are worried. So you want to know what? Just keep it local, which is our whole thing. Keeping money here, keeping it local. Like, these are the people who are going to build up the community.
Amen. Thank you so much for coming on today. That was
really fun. It was so much fun.
I hope you'll join me again.
I definitely will.
We're gonna have over the next few months. I don't even know what day it is, what year it is.
I don't know. I don't know the day of the week. You don't even have young kids. What are you doing, man?
I have a step kid.
Isn't she like 12?
She's 11.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So she sleeps through the night. She wipes her own ass. She feeds herself. All right, man.
She does. Who am I complaining? I live a very awesome life. Sometimes I pinch myself like, am I living this life right now?
Isn't this amazing?
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I love you.
Course.
I love you. I love you guys.
Thank you for having me on.
We're going to do it again very soon.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in today. Another episode of Cannabis Cum Laude in the books. That was Jackie Bonfiglio with me today, that Hydro Girl coordinator and mastermind behind the original carnival and the winter carnival, December 18th, Main Street Armory, going to be a hit. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks to our friends here at Rockbox Recording and Production in Rochester, New York. They are a full professional podcast and video studio designed by a radio guy for podcasters. Audio, video, voiceovers, editing, whatever. Mouth off at Rockbox at rockbox.com.
You can follow Cannabis Cum Laude on LinkedIn and all other social media platforms, as well as Cannabis. And if you'd like to help support the show, search up Cannabis Cum Laude on Patreon. And of course, all of those links are in the show notes. Thanks for watching and listening.